Hi guys, Dandelion Song here. Here we are with back with a quick review. This is the first tweet from Goggins' account that was taken down and then it was put back up by Rebel Yell and other people found it, where he has a 911 or an 855. Then on his Twitter he says that he takes that down and then he puts this one up, which is also a 911, but he also gets his shirt changed and a beard trim, so it's hard to kind of tell what the timeline here is. This could all just be in studio and then they just put this all up later, because that's how they do it. And these people are actors, and he would be an anti-Muslim actor because this whole action is an anti-Muslim action. This is not friendly to anybody, especially to children or to Muslims. Now here he is posing, and we believe this is the same person, although it's hard to tell with all the beards and the glasses and everything. But here he's posing with a 7-11-11 clock, and I will show you in an upcoming slide of these numbers and what it has to do with pi, because pi is 22 by 7, and that's the tetragrammaton. That's the construct of our alphabet. That's the core of how our alphabet is coded, and basically it's coded that way according to the Illuminatus observer to include the worship of all the letters as if all the letters are gods. And there's 26 letters, and 26 is the gematria of God. This has to do with pi, has to do with phi. I did find some phi numbers, pi numbers, lots of different kinds of numbers in the gematria in here. So this is just my little preview. This is part 3. The first 2 are very interesting. I do hope to get to the MIT picture, which is very interesting too. So there's a lot more to see, so stay tuned, and there's a lot of gematria on this site that we haven't gone through yet, so I hope you like it. Talk to you. All right, here we go. Well, so we've been seeing some strange numbers here. The other one I want to bring up to you was from a Twitter, and let me show you where it came from. This is supposedly an MIT. MIT put this up. Now, I really don't think, I don't want to draw my nice picture. Actually, let me copy it again. I really don't think that they made a mistake by accidentally putting up a 928. Do you? Do you think that was a coincidence? Oops. I don't think it was a coincidence. All right, let me show you where this came from. This is her name, Amy van der Heel, and we're going to take a look. But she is in Building 7 of MIT, and she posted this picture, which I just want to share with you. I just think that this is amazing. She posted it at 6:28 a.m., which is the inverse mirror of 9:28, if you think about that. And maybe she doesn't ever, maybe she just doesn't have time to check YouTube and to know, or maybe they just gave her this picture. They're like, here, Amy, you go do this. Who knows? Let's look at I Stand with Ahmed, though. But first I'm going to just show this to you in the Paint program. Okay, so here we are. I just want to show you that is a 928, and I know you didn't really need that, but I just want to be thorough. Okay, let's put this in there. Well, there's some interesting numbers just in here. An 8 plus a 15 is a 23. A 9 plus a 13 is a 22. So these are dates, these are numbers that I say I'm trying to figure out a name to give these, because these are numbers that are coded through time. So they have a first and it's like the equation, but you can't see the whole equation because it's through time. And then this one, this is kind of like a 21. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this one yet. I have to look at that one. But this one is a gateway besides being a 22 or a 922. Now, the way that these guys use their numbers, if you use the 9 to add to the 13, it doesn't necessarily take away the 9 again. You can use it again. It's because I don't understand all the words, the lexicon for their algorithms, but I have seen them use these algorithms, and so I know that in their book, which I don't have, and I have to figure it out, back engineer these algorithms as we go along, that it reminds me of a Celtic knot, the way that they can move these numbers around. But the thing that I want to point out is that it doesn't seem like it's a coincidence that these numbers, this one would be a 922, which is the 923rd day from the Pope's election to the 922, and it's the day before 923, which is the a Gregorian equivalent of 9/11. And then we have these clocks showing 922s, which are pies, and 911s, which are equivalents to 923, which is the day that the Pope will be speaking from the White House, or meeting at the White House. I don't know if he's speaking in public, but I think 923 is also the day he's going to circumambulate the ellipse. I wish I had made smaller chunks of my 10-part Pope series, because I know those are big chunks. But maybe just take it apart as the day. I do want to go back through and try to tag it so that you can find references as to which day you're concerned about, so that you can just go right to that day in there, or to break it in smaller pieces. And I hope I have time to do that before we need the data, or before the data becomes really relevant. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there, because there's a lot going on. So I might just kind of keep working on these things as they come up. All right, well, there's a few concerning things here. One of them is that she has the Phi, or the Bride of Christ number, in her followers. Now, I know that this can just happen, because right now on my Facebook I have 119 followers, and I was like, 9/11? Go away. Just go away. So I took a screenshot of it. Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose, and I don't know, and I didn't watch to see if it built up naturally, but I noticed that my YouTube numbers, like if I look inside my Creator Studio, those numbers jump all around. They don't have any linear association to each other, and they do sometimes flash some of these numbers that I've just been looking at. So I'm like, yeah, all right. Well, anyway, 333 photos. That's a Freemason number. Here we have a 9. This is sort of like a 9 number here. I'm not sure. It's just a year. But the reason, either she knew what she was doing, or somebody set her up to this, or this is a fake account. But it doesn't really look like a fake account, because she does a lot of favoriting. Now, this was retweeted 314 times, and that happens to be pi, you guys. And this is a 622. Hi, so just popping in on this. I missed the 922. It's an upside down 922. So I miss stuff sometimes. Okay, well, her name has some interesting numbers, but what in the Jewish gematria she equals Barack Hussein Obama, and I believe that spelling is correct. It says here, I'm absolutely speechless. That's kind of what I saw that's what I thought when I saw the 928 on the MIT tweet. I'm like, really? I wonder if everybody in MIT gets this. And then her name in simple in English gematria just happens to match the gematria Bible. Washington, D.C., in the beginning, Eye of Horus, Saddam Hussein, gematrix.org, that's this website that I'm on right now, Mind Control, I want to skip the silly ones, Great Pyramid, Tomorrow, Isis Ra Elohim, Alien Knowledge, so MIT Building 7, right, like this, with the hashtag in it. I don't know if the hashtag is active. Equals Masonic Logic, Golden Ratio. This is a zodiac sign, and Illuminati. So, if you think that's coincidence, and Kingdom of God, the Holy Code, Rosh Hashanah, which we're in right now. So. I wonder if if this is a code about these holidays. I mean, or not holidays, these sacred days. Leviticus, the Hidden Master. Then in the Jewish gematria, I just want to point out that it equals Christians, Children of Israel, Pluto, Christos, skulls. Now I'd like to go back to this guy, Goggins Twitter here, because there's a gematria that I really thought was interesting that I didn't bring to you yet, because he says in one of these, brought my clock to work again, and I put that through the gematria counter, and it equals 2211, which is a 33, which is a Freemason sign, but this is also the same number that I found having to do with JFK and the Bride of Christ in the placement code in the first 1,000 digits of pi. Now, I was looking at that again recently, and if you haven't seen that, I have 3 videos called 4 and 20 Blackbirds Baked in a Pie, and those are about my possible theories about deeper placement code in the larger number of pi. If you print out, 1 or 2,000 digits, and you work backwards and you look at these codes, you look at the placement codes, you can find some things. And I found at the 1,122nd place of pi, I found an 816, and then after that, actually, I can't reach it to make sure. I think right after that is a 3. So the 8-1, so there's basically a 6-1 and a 6-3. And that there is symmetry that I have found before between Obama's birth numbers and JFK's birth numbers, and that I found symmetry between JFK's death year and the death date in the deeper part of pi, having to do with the placement code. And then Obama was born, well, he was born on August 4th. So, but it is 1961. So I just wanted to point out that that's also right there too. I just want to point that out. I haven't really ironed out the whole deeper code or the 4 and 20 Blackbirds Baked in a Pie even concept. I'm just trying to gather clues as I go along and build a theory and build an algorithm. Well, but I have noticed that this is a special number, and I have seen it in more places than just JFK, and I've seen it in places that have to do with kind of the killing of the Bride of Christ kind of idea. And what I mean by that is the killing of hope, or the killing of someone who's put up for us to be a hero, or that kind of concept. All right, well, while I was listening to this and editing this, I guess my editor's being good today. Normally it won't let me edit. It'll just turn green screen as soon as I try to split something. But today it's editing, so that's nice. Well, I was listening to this, and I was thinking about the date, and I was thinking about that at the 1122 position in the deep pi code, there is an 816, which is not only a reverse 5, but it's a Bride of Christ number. But I just all of a sudden realized that number is also in Obama's birthday, because he has the 8 and the 61 in his in the outer, and the birthdays do decode in the same way that words do, inner core and outer valence. So in his outer valence, he has an 816 and a 618, and we have been seeing a lot of kill-offs having to do with 816. So there's a lot of numbers on Obama anyway, so that's not really a huge shock, but I just realized that connection right now while I was listening to the video, so I wanted to bring that to you. All right, so okay, here's the rest of the video. So while we're on the topic of Phi and Bride of Christ, this is a Phi and Bride of Christ anagram, because it's a 618 and an 816. And it's also a 924 and a few other numbers. So mostly I want to point out that the media wants to make this look, in Twitter, or wants to make this look like this is a grassroots movement, and many people here will be grassroots, but initially when it started by insiders that have special messages on their clocks, and MIT that has a special message on their clock, you can tell that this is not a grassroots movement. And so when people participate with this, they don't know what they're participating with. They don't know what the underlying code is here. And they're kind of making a joke out of things that actually are going to stand even though the cover story here looks like it's trying to be like, if you look at this, they're trying to say like, okay, then then NASA reached out to the teenager, and the schools reached out, and now everything's better because we are good people as humans. See, that's like the cover story, but the understory here has tons of code in it that's not friendly to Muslims. So when you buy the cover story, you're kind of participating in a story that's not friendly to children or Muslims. And I have a feeling that this story is going to backfire on Muslims. And it's going to, it's like the first chip in the, like say it's a chess game and you need to think, 7 moves deep. This is only 1 move deep. And humans really don't think any moves deep, especially not 2. But this looks like the first move of a larger strategy in which this is going to backfire. And it's going to basically kind of keep igniting the race war. Because first of all, the reason why they're taking this tact in CNN is because they know that that from 9/11 that the media tries to turn you against Muslims. So then they're taking the opposite tact here. But look at this. Look at what they put there. Trying to go back. Look at what they put there. If they're putting this up there, this is not Muslim friendly, because they should show regular people who are Muslims, not insiders who are showing certain clock signs that have hidden messages. So I hope you can see what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to probably do some more on this. I'm going to go to, I'm just going to do gematria, some more of these CNN sayings, because usually they have a lot of hidden messages in them. So, all right, well, I hope you liked that code. I hope you thought that was interesting about those tweets. And I also want to, I think if you want to go to this lady's Twitter, or actually the way I got to this website where it just shows everyone's Twitter is just put in the search. I'm trying to say that you just put "I stand with Ahmed" into the Twitter search box. So, okay, that's what you can do. Talk to you soon.